Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Roisin Marko, and I'm a colour therapist. So just want to thank anyone that gets to watch me live today, and also thank anyone that gets to watch the replay. So in today's live, I'm doing about crystal skulls, and I'm also going to talk about skull imagery and how it relates to indigos. Hi Marie, I can see you watching. So thanks everyone that watches. This is usually done in my closed private group. It's Indigo Revolution 63 Days to Reconnect with the Soul and Life Purpose. But I just felt I just wanted to expand what we're talking about to more people that watch. It will be very specific, and it's not going to be for everyone, because in that group we talk a lot about different subjects that relate to being an indigo. But I said I'm going to do this in public for people that might be curious, that might join the group. So I'm just going to start off first of all just to explain what an indigo is very quickly. So I described it earlier on in my Instagram account. It's more of an energy. So it has been a term that's been coined to describe a group of people. I don't want to label people as such, but if you read about indigos, they started coming forth around in the 70s, the early 70s. Some came before. So some indigo scouts came earlier than that. But most people that are indigos are born in the 70s, 80s, 90s. There are still indigos being born, but not so much now because the vibration has changed to crystal children and rainbow children, which I may talk about another time. But for now, I'm just going to stick to indigos. So, yeah, so they basically have a very unique energy. It's they're basically here to transform systems that no longer work. So whether that's they may be discontent with the banking systems, politics, educational systems. So basically they've come here to bring integrity back to the planet, to bring truth back to the planet. And they're governed by the third eye, which is related to the colour indigo. And that's connected with your intuition. So they're very intuitive. They have a real truth detector, and they're here to bring about positive change. But the most important thing is, for them, they need to connect with their soul purpose to channel this energy, because they have this unique energy that they bring that doesn't want to be constricted or conformed. And the main thing is to channel this energy so it's productively used. Hi Claire, thanks so much. This is all new now, the comments. Is this Roman's watching? Did you say bring them on camera? Well, I'm an indigo Roman, so I would be one of them. And my soul purpose, part of my soul mission, is to work with indigos and help them to achieve their highest potential by fulfilling the role that they've been put here on earth to fulfill. So whatever their soul life purpose is. Okay, so that's a little bit about indigos. If you want to learn more about them, I have this book. I'm just going to talk a bit about something in this book that's interested me. Hi Marie. So this book is called Awaken Your Indigo Power. It's by Doreen Virtue and Charles Virtue, her son. If you do want to learn more about indigos, it is a good book, but I've specifically picked something out of it because today I'm talking about skull imagery and I'm talking about crystal skulls. So anyone that's interested in crystals specifically is what this live is for. But I'm going to talk about skull imagery as well, because in this book by Doreen Virtue, she describes the different properties, the different characteristics of indigos. And what I found really interesting is, she says here that indigos seem fascinated with skull imagery, not so much to encapsulate pirates, but more as a display that they're fearless. Hi Roman. So wearing a skull to an indigo is a symbol of being tough and hardened by life. And she also said they like to dress as a reflection of how they feel on the inside, which is dark, edgy and angry. Okay, I would contest that a little bit, but I just find it interesting because I have worked with indigos, quite a few, and I have noticed, especially in young men, they do tend to veer towards skull imagery, a few of them. They have like skull rings. Hi Karen, thanks for watching, thank you. So they may have skull rings, or they may be interested in skull patterning in their clothing. And also the reason it struck a chord with me is because when I was in my early 20s, I remember I had a skull belt, I had a skull ring, and I had a dress with skulls embroidered on it as well. And I remember it stands out as something that I liked to wear, and I wore it a lot. And I had an edgy haircut to go with it. So it's not to say that all indigos will be attracted to skulls, it's not. But I just want you to be aware of, if you have a son, if you know someone that's interested in skull imagery, it could be an indication that they're an indigo. I don't believe as it's a negative thing. Hi Reet, how are you? Doreen Virtue says they may be angry or frustrated. Yes, they possibly are a bit angry and frustrated if they haven't yet fulfilled their soul purpose or reached their mission, connected in with their soul mission, because at that stage I hadn't done either. I was still searching for what my soul mission should be. But if you know anyone that does wear a lot of skull imagery, it may indicate they're on the way to connecting in with their soul purpose or their soul mission. I have found that with the people that I've worked with, they do wear this kind of, they like that look of the skull and this kind of imagery, but I think they're on the path to fulfilling their soul purpose or their soul mission. So if anyone knows anyone that is interested in this. Oh, Jerry Swift is watching. Okay. It says on the comments, bring them on camera, but I don't think that is what the person's saying. Sorry, I'm getting used to the new layout of Facebook. Not 100% sure here. Okay, hi Jerry. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about indigos and the skull imagery. And if you are an indigo or if you want to learn more about it, you can join my group. It's called Indigo Revolution, 6 free days to reconnect with your soul and life purpose. In March, we're beginning to do the work to connect with your soul life and life purpose again. And that's a really important factor for indigos, that they do connect with what they're here to do, because they may feel like they don't fit in. They may feel like they don't like the way society is, they may feel unhappy, they may feel isolated, but when you connect in with what you're here to do, because if you are an indigo, you are here for a purpose, you are here for a reason, and you are here to fulfill a certain role, and you have unique gifts and talents, and when you do connect in with that, you can then channel this energy that might be unsettled or feel a little bit, not angry, but frustrated, and you can channel that into the work that you're meant to be doing. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now, the main part of this live is about crystal skulls, because I love crystals and I have been drawn to crystal skulls recently, and I'm going to tell you a story of why I'm doing this, why I'm connecting in with crystal skulls at the minute, and I'm going to invite you to connect in with the crystal skull that you're here to work with as well. We're going to do a meditation for anyone that wants to join in. So crystal skulls, the earliest times they're mentioned is around the times of Atlantis. So for anyone that's interested in crystals, they probably are aware of Atlantis. It's a mythological civilization, but people that believe in New Age concepts do believe it did exist. So it was a couple of thousand years ago. And in Atlantis, I'm not sure if I read this or if I just think this myself, I could have read it somewhere along the line. Everyone in Atlantis would have had a crystal skull, and it would have probably been designed to be around the same size of their own skull or their own head in Atlantis. And the reason they would have had these skulls is because crystal skulls then and now give you insights and downloads and information for what you should be doing on your life path, on your life purpose, and on your life mission. So it would have been something that they used to assist them with their spiritual work or with their life path. And yeah, so it would have, I think it would have been the size of their head. They would have been carved because they had their technological advances with crystals were far greater than they are now today. So, and their access to crystals and the way they used crystals would have been far more advanced than we currently know how to use them. So that's where they would have stemmed from, originated from. I'm not going to go into, there are other stories or myths or ideas about skulls that have been found, 13 skulls. I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about today is an experience that I had myself, connecting in with the skull that I'm here to work with in this lifetime. And then I'm going to use that to create a meditation for anyone that wants to connect in with the crystal skull that they're here to work with. So again, why would you want to work with a crystal skull? I know a couple of people mentioned me saying they love crystals, but they don't like crystal skulls. Skull imagery can be maybe a bit frightening or maybe look a bit dark, but skulls refer to our own skull and our own mind. They refer to downloads. They refer to our own mortality, of course, but the main thing is they're here to serve us by giving us downloads, information, and more guidance for our path and our journey. So I'm just going to tell you quickly a story that I had recently about why I'm doing this. So I visited Glastonbury, I think it was just before Christmas, I think I went to Glastonbury. And for anyone that doesn't know, Glastonbury is in England. It's a very spiritual centre. I look at it as kind of like a portal. It's the heart centre, the heart chakra of the world. The world has different centres and different points which represent different chakras on the body. So Glastonbury is a heart centre, and I just feel like it's a very special place, and whenever I go there I always get information or more downloads about my path or what's next. So it's just a place where I think you're more open, and there's a huge amount of energy, just a huge amount of guidance available to you. So the first night I was there, I did have a dream, and in the dream I someone who identified himself as Marko came to me in the dream, and he showed me a quartz crystal skull. So I knew it had some significance. I didn't think too much about it. I went away on my holiday, I enjoyed myself, and when I came home I knew instinctively which book I was to look at. And I'll show you another book that I enjoy. So these are books you can read if you are interested in developing spiritually. So this one is called The Archangel Guide to Ascension. So it's 55 Steps to the Light. That's by Diana Cooper and Tim Wilde. A lot of you might know Diana Cooper. She does a lot of work with dragons and angels. She's an amazing lady. So this is the book that she wrote. And I read this about a year ago, and I consciously wouldn't have remembered much of it, I'll be honest, because there's quite a lot of information in it. But when I got home, I knew I had to look at it, and I looked at the Intergalactic Council. There's a listing of all the people that are here to assist on the council with the ascension process that we're going through at the minute since 2012, or since before, but especially since 2012. So I looked it up, and there is a Master Marko. So I didn't consciously remember it, maybe subconsciously I did. So I'm just going to read you who the Master Marko is, because it's related to crystal skulls. So the Great Master Marko represents the highest galactic confederation in the solar system. He holds all the technological information of the United Universes within a huge, very high frequency quartz crystal skull, and he downloads appropriate ideas into the minds of those who are ready to bring fifth dimensional technology back to the planet. The information is already stored in the etheric and also within the soul star chakras of those serving in this way. So your soul star is a chakra point around 10 to 12 inches above your head. An example is digital cameras, which capture the sixth dimensional frequency of angelic beings as orbs. So now that we have digital cameras, we can capture angels, orbs, fairies. Okay, so the scientific establishment is just discovering the existence of parallel worlds. Once it is accepted that science and spiritual work go hand in hand, scientists will be ready to receive a higher grade of information. So Master Marko is monitoring this very carefully with the help of Seraphine of the Seraphim. Okay, so I believe that in my dream I did have a visitation from Master Marko because he showed the crystal skull. I consciously didn't remember it. So I'm not saying I'm a scientist or anything like that, because this is more to do with technology that he works with, but for some reason I believe that there is a crystal skull that is waiting for me to work with. It's a quartz one, a clear quartz one, which would make sense to me because clear quartz has a lot of rainbow incisions in them. For anyone that likes crystals, you can see that clear quartz often has rainbows kind of refracted in them. So that to me is why I'm to work with it. And I haven't actually got a crystal skull, because with any crystal you have to kind of, there's a crystal skull out there waiting for you, but you have to, when you see the crystal skull, you'll be aware that it's for you. Okay, so it's not just like I'm going to go out and order one online, just any one, because with crystal skulls they're very specific for the person. So I will come across it at some stage. I'm not going to go out looking for it, but I may see it online. I follow lots of crystal blogs, or I might see it in a shop and I'll know it's for me, but I know it's a clear quartz skull that I'm here to work with, and I'm already working with it on an energetic level anyway, so I don't have to be physically with the quartz skull. But when I am more in contact in the physical with quartz skull, I know that it will help me transcend more. It will it will be basically accelerated downloads is what I'll get when I do come into contact with the crystal skull that I'm here to work with. You may have more than one that you're here to work with, but mainly one. So that's the information that I've got from my dream with Master Marko. So right now I'm going to do a meditation. I've tested it out myself because I just wanted to check 100% that it was the clear quartz skull I'm here to work with, and it was very clear that it was after this meditation. So if anyone watching this, I have no doubt if you are genuinely interested in this, that there is a crystal skull, it may not be quartz, waiting for you to connect with as well, and to assist you in your spiritual work and to provide you with the downloads that you need and the guidance that you need. So if anyone watching wants to do this meditation with me, it's quite short, and it will help you connect in energetically, and then hopefully you'll come into contact with the skull as well, and you can buy it and work with it that way as well. Okay, so for everyone that's watching, and as well, there's going to be an interactive bit. I'll give you some colour meanings or some crystal meanings if I can. Okay, so just taking a deep breath in, anyone that wants to take part, and closing your eyes if you want. So taking a deep breath in, and release. So taking another deep breath in, and release. So final deep breath in, and release. And just feel your back lengthening and straightening if you're sitting down, just to get you in a correct posture. So just feeling your body relax, your shoulders drop back, your neck loosening. Feel your fingers loosening, your knees, your hips, just completely relaxing and coming into your body. I want you to feel that there's roots growing from the soles of your feet. And see those roots going right down into the ground and wrapping around the centre of Mother Earth and anchoring you very, very clearly and sharply down into Mother Earth. And I want you then to connect in with the crown of your head and see that you're connecting in with Source and with the sky as well. So just feel that you're connected below, you're connected above. And I want you to bring your attention to your third eye and just see a swirling indigo pool of light coming from your third eye. So like swirling like a vortex from your third eye. So just see it swirling and getting bigger and bigger, until eventually it's big enough that you can walk in. So walking into this indigo pool of light, and I want you to find yourself in a place of nature. And just have a look around. You're very comfortable, the weather is beautiful. And then in front of you, you see a great hall. It nearly looks like a castle or a great hall. And I just want you to make your way towards it. And then waiting for you at the door is Master Marko. So I just want you to take notice of what he looks like. It may be your first time meeting him, it might not. So he's from the Intergalactic Council. I just want you to follow him into the hall. So it's a great big hall that you're going into. It just looks very regal, looks very important. And you're just going to follow him up a few steps onto the top. It's almost like an altar space. And the ceiling's very high, there's lots of light. And then on the table, there's a very ornate box. So whatever you imagine it to look like. And Master Marko is going to lift this box up to you. And then when you're ready, you can open this box and notice the lining of the box. And then you're going to see your crystal skull is inside the box. So I just want you to notice first of all what colour it is, what size it is, and then what type of crystal it is. And if you don't know what type of crystal it is, that's okay, don't worry. You can research it after this, or maybe you'll come across it during something else. So I just want you to notice what colour it is, what type of crystal it is. And I just want you to energetically connect in with this crystal skull. You can lift it up if you want and hold it in your hand. And I just want you to feel a connection growing between you and the crystal skull that you're working with now. And then you can ask the crystal skull what it is here to help you with. Take a few minutes to get a few words or a sentence even, what it is here to help you with. And if you like, you can also ask for any advice on how to go forward now. So whether it's in your life, in your business, anything you want advice on, you can also ask this crystal skull if it will give you downloads of information now. Just giving you a few moments. Okay, and when you're ready, you can close the box, and it's up to you. You can put the crystal skull back in the box, or you can take it with you, whatever feels right for you. But know that you can come back here whenever you want until you meet your skull in the physical, and you can connect in and access downloads, or else just know that you don't always need to know as well whatever needs to be downloaded into your consciousness, your subconsciousness, this crystal skull will do anyway. So just putting the box back down again. And then Master Marko is going to walk you back out to the door. And you can just walk back onto the place in nature you began and just become conscious of the swirling light that's on your third eye again. And just bring your focus back to your third eye. And bring your focus back to the room that you're sitting in and to your body, and start moving your arms gently. Move your toes, move your legs. And just taking a deep breath in and release. So taking another deep breath in and release. Okay, so I'm just looking at the comments. So Marina's gonna watch later. That's great, Marina. And it says bring them on camera. Sorry guys, I got confused with that because I think bring them on camera must be a new feature on Facebook that I can bring someone on. So that's always good to know. It wasn't there the last time I did a live. So apologies to Roman, who I thought was telling me to bring indigos on the camera. Okay, so if anyone wants to comment on what crystal skull they got, please do, and I can give you a colour reading, or if I know anything about the crystal, I'll let you know. I may not know everything about all the crystals, to be honest. I love crystals, but I'm not exactly an expert on them. So if anyone wants to share, they can. If not, no worries as well. So I got a quartz crystal. I told you that already. So quartz kind of amplifies. It's a great amplifier of energy. So it will amplify good and bad. Okay, so Regina got a golden skull. Okay, so gold is the highest vibration, as I'm sure you know at this stage, Regina. You've been following colour for quite a while. So that would be to do with wisdom. And I also feel it's to do with Atlantis as well. So your skull that you're working with is to do with the highest wisdom. Do you know what it is? I wonder. It could be pyrite. I'm trying to think what crystals are gold. If anyone, I know Kathy Brett's a crystal expert watching this. If Kathy knows any other gold crystals, then please let me know as well. But or it could actually be solid gold, Regina. I take it back. It might be the element gold. So let me know either way. But yeah, so your crystal is here to help you accessing wisdom. So sounds lovely, Regina. Okay, so Katrina, Jordan, McGrory. So Regina, even if obviously if it's pure gold yours, you may always be working with it in non-physical, because obviously a pure gold crystal would be very expensive. But maybe, what size is yours, Regina? You might be able to even buy a smaller one if you ever saw it in gold. I'm not really sure. But it might be just a bit more harder to access yours. But even if you were just to work with it energetically, that'd be fine too. So Katrina, hi Katrina. So you got aquamarine and the name tourmaline. Okay, there are all different types of tourmaline. So tourmaline is a very protective stone. Obviously the black tourmaline is very protective. You've got watercolour tourmaline. Perhaps it's that. I'm not 100% sure. I know with watercolour tourmaline you've got kind of like a turquoisey colour and a pinky colour. There could just be a green tourmaline as well, a bluey green tourmaline as well. I'm not 100% sure. But okay, so that would be to do with communication, I would say, for yours. Google, yeah, okay, so have a look at the different types of tourmaline, Katrina, because there'll be different messages in that. But for the aquamarine, it's kind of like turquoise. That's to do with communication, and that's also to do with the emotions and emotional clearing. So that could be your skull. I think your skull is to do with communication, actually. You're a blue. I did your soul colour reading with you recently, and I hope you don't mind me sharing. You're a blue major soul colour person, and that's to do with healing. It's to do with communication. So I'd say your crystal skull could be just to get you back on track with your innate soul purpose and who you are in terms of colour and what you're here to do. So yeah, yours is probably to do with communication, but also look up the tourmaline message as well. Okay, did anyone else get one that they want to share? Give you a few more minutes. You might not want to share, that's okay as well. So I hope you enjoyed the meditation, and I hope for anyone that maybe wasn't interested in crystal skulls before, that they might be a bit more interested in them. I have had an interest in them for the last year or so. I've been looking at them a lot online, but I didn't actually commit to buying one, and that's probably why I haven't yet, because it wasn't the right one for me to buy. I'll know now which one it is for me. It's a clear quartz one. Okay, so I don't think anyone else wants to share. Okay, that's fine, no problem, unless Facebook's acting up. I know sometimes I can't see all the comments at Facebook. If I miss your comments, I apologise, and I'll get back to you with messages later on. And for anyone that's watching the replay, feel free as well to post what you got, and I'll try and give you some insight what your crystal might be about, your crystal skull. Yeah, so that's it. So the other thing I wanted to say, for anyone that wants to do more work with me, you can join my free group. It's called Indigo Revolution, 6 free days to reconnect with your soul and life purpose. But any lives, ideas that come to me, I'm going to start doing them here instead. Okay, so more people have the opportunity to watch them, or just dip in and out of them if they want. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. I think that's all the comments. There probably is more comments. I can't see them, I'm sorry. Okay, no, I can't. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon with a different live on a different subject. Okay, thanks everyone. Lots of love. Bye.